Welcome back to Peace River and day 3 of the 2019 World Jet Boat Championships, brought to you by Compression Technology. We're here at the boat launch here in Peace River, and boats are just getting put in, getting ready to go up and down to Watino and back, about a 44-mile run one way. And this is going to be the biggest water, as we mentioned yesterday, for the racers, so there is some nerves. You guys do a lot of pre-running yesterday. How are you feeling about going up there?
Yeah, we pre-ran it, set some waypoints for the rough stuff, so we just got to plan on slowing down before we hit that stuff and try not to wreck our boat.
Nigel Cromie was finishing second after day 1, and he lost a little bit of pace in the circuit races yesterday. Nigel, you guys worked feverishly on the boat last night to find some extra speed. What happened in the boat yesterday?
Yeah, we had to burn the midnight oil last night, but we had a couple issues. We had a cooling pipe fall off on our jet unit, which overheated the gearbox, and we also had our CV that was running a bit tight, heated up, and put pressure on our jet unit bearing. So had a couple of issues that I had to slow down for. So yeah, got it all fixed, but hopefully it's going to last the race.
Ross, you finished day 1 in 3rd overall. You came into Peace River, and everyone agreed that you were really bringing the heat. How did you get your boat so fast?
We left a little on the table day 1, trying to preserve our gear. You know, this marathon's about keeping your boat running, and there's limited life on all the components in there. And we got behind some lap traffic and lost some time day 1, and so we had to wick it up a little bit here yesterday. And so we pushed a little harder, and we're able to get a little bit of time back from Gord, and we're going to need it. So we're glad to get a little bit of cushion, and but she's going to be a tough, long race.
Here with Regan Redlick and R. Mayhem, and you're one of the U-Spec competitors, second fastest of the piston boats behind all the turbines. Regan, what are you running here for a power plant?
It's an EMS 565.
So 565 cubic inches. Roughly how much horsepower?
840.
Wow, 840 horse in a light little boat like this. What kind of mile an hour can you expect out of it?
Well, the best I've seen so far this year is 117.
Awesome. Regan's leading our U-Spec class currently after, through attrition, a couple of DNFs yesterday in your class. So you're just looking for clean water and try and maybe catch a couple of turbines if you're lucky.
Oh, I don't think catching them is really going to happen, but just to get up there and finish and then get back down today. This is a big river with some big rollers in it. Just got to play it safe. So
awesome, Regan. Good luck today.
Thank you.
That's awesome. As the boats began leaving Peace River at 1-minute intervals, the camera crew was grounded due to poor visibility in the area. So we were forced to rely on roll bar and ground cameras for the upstream leg, and that still left us with plenty of awesome footage. Upstream following the Unlimited class now, and Rick is taking it plenty safe through these rough sections. And that's left the door open for Nigel, who's managed to have all the bugs worked out on his boat from yesterday. Darren Cage, sitting second in the A-Class, is pushing hard upstream to close the gap to A-Class leader Tim Greber. And much like Darren, Justin Hill is also flat-footing through the rough water in attempts to take the lead in the CX class. Riding along with Tim Harding now, and you can really start seeing how rough this water is on the Smoky River. Hopping back aboard CDN1, and these turbine boats are already crossing the line at just over 20 minutes. The high and dry crew are trying to gain on Tanner Froelich for the FX class lead, while CX959 undecided are just trying to navigate their way to Watino without incident. riding along with New Zealand racer Roger Preston, and he keeps his foot planted as Stephen Ford says nope and lifts through this rough section of water. A121 Backdraft had motor failure and coasted right up in front of our camera. We caught up with Barry before the heat to see what was giving him troubles in the circuits yesterday. Barry, you guys were sitting second in the A class coming out of Whitecourt, and yesterday in Peace River circuit races you guys had a DNF. What happened to the boat?
Well, when we got here, our intake grate was a little big for here, so we had to go to the box and pulled out an old one that was just right. It was working good. We were hitting some great numbers, but it was a little fatigued. So we ended up losing a little piece of it, tried to go out through the impeller, and it didn't like that. So we had a pretty good vibration there, so I had to pull her in.
Do you have a little bit of excitement coming up to Watino?
Had lots of excitement. About 10 miles down, I started feeling heat on my shoulders and realized we was on fire, but I just had to get to the top.
A couple locals in FX91, high and dry. Gerald, you guys know this river really well. Is that what gave you the edge today?
We ran it last night, spent a lot of time, picked some good lines, and just made good time today.
Tanner had a couple minutes on you guys, I think, coming into today, was that right? So you had some time to make up. About how much did you make up on him?
I think he started about 3 minutes before us, and we caught him here, so I mean we gained 3 or 4 minutes on him, I think, for sure.
Coming through this kind of more difficult water here today, was it a little bit nerve-wracking getting alongside him? You guys had plenty of water?
We had plenty of water. It was nerve-wracking because last year we had a pretty bad run and thundered some stuff on the boat, so well, this one went great. So
Archie, you came all the way from New Zealand to cheer on Justin Hill and Roger Preston, is that right?
Yeah.
And how are they doing here?
Good. Roger came 6th yesterday, and the day before he came 7th.
Maybe you'll get 5th today.
Mhm.
Awesome. You want to say anything to your friends and family back in New Zealand?
Yeah. I hope you had a great time in Canada racing up the new rivers.
Tim, let's do it one more time. If not, let's have another safe race. Thank you.
Ross Schlotauer had another solid showing on day 3, but it wasn't enough to keep Gord Humphrey behind him. Gord finished day 3 just ahead of Ross by only 8 seconds. Jeremy Hand took advantage of his home course and was able to close the gap down to less than a minute between he and Ross. Tim Greber came into today leading the A class and just wanted to finish both legs. He took his time and did that. However, hard-charging Darren Cage took advantage of Tim's cautiousness and closed to only 14 seconds outside the top spot. In the CX class, leader Kelly Locke going upstream was considerably slower than second place Justin Hill. However, going back downstream, Kelly regained the lead and finished today 13 seconds ahead of Justin. Trapper Woolsey and Stacy Kelm sitting 6th and 7th respectively in the CX class were mixing it up, heading downstream through the rough stuff. Randy Huff was having an awesome downstream run and closing in on Alan Boyven when he got off track, which caused him to get into a little bigger water than he wanted to be in. As we catch the last few boats coming downstream, you can see missing wings and battle scars from possibly the most challenging leg of this entire marathon. Landon, we knew running down from Watino was going to be a challenging run, and judging by your boat here, Wild West, you had a real wild ride.
We sure did. We were expecting it to be a little bit rough, but it definitely caught our attention coming into the rollers when we couldn't see them really well.
So what exactly happened there? Take us through it.
Oh, we saw Clayton's boat stopped in the middle of the channel or the middle of the river, and thought, oh, I wonder why he's sitting there. So we couldn't see with the light shining on the rollers how big they were, and rolled in there, and we were just going way too fast, and it was too late to do anything, and it just leapt up into the air and come down on the side, and did another couple of those, spun out, and next thing you know, we were floating along.
Huge thanks once again to Compression Technology for sponsoring Day 3 highlight video today in Peace River, going up to Watino and back, and what a highlight video it was. We had a lot of action on that big water, and we knew that's what the racers were in for. As you can see behind me, the boat launch is pretty quiet. That's because all the racers packed up and they're heading to Grand Prairie. Tomorrow's a down day on the marathon. However, they're going to be pre-running the Wapiti and Smoky Rivers, getting ready for days 5 and 6 of racing. But we're going to be busy putting together a recap highlight video tomorrow that you guys can watch, kind of recapping all the events to this point in the marathon. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. We'll see you then.